Today we're doing 8.4. It's rational expressions. And what our objectives are today is we're going to be able to simplify rational expressions and also be able to multiply and divide rational expressions. Okay, first of all, what is a rational expression? What it is, well, look at these.
Polynomials.
Look at these examples. These are rational expressions. What it is two polynomials that are divided. So it's a quotient of two polynomials. And to simplify any fraction, what we do is we cancel factors or products that are the same in the numerator and denominator. So you're going to look for common factors and you're going to use them to divide both the numerator and the denominator by that number. Okay, the other thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to look at the denominator. And any time you have a variable in the denominator, you're going to have a restriction. We want to eliminate any number that is going to cause you to have a 0 in the denominator. So for example, here's our first example. Here is a polynomial
Oh, it's just factoring.
divided by a polynomial. Now to simplify this polynomial over this polynomial, you're going to want to factor it completely. Factor the numerator and the denominator. So you've got to be good at factoring. X squared plus 7x plus 10 factors to be x plus 2, x plus 5. And then x squared minus 3x minus 10 is x plus 2, x plus 5. X plus 2, x minus 5. So now, before we do any canceling, I need you to state the restrictions. Tell me what x values you do not want. What do we not want x to be? X cannot be -2. And x cannot be 5. Why? Those are going to be where you would get a 0 in the denominator, and you never want a 0 in the denominator of any fraction. So these are the restrictions, right? X can't be -2 or 5. Now what you're going to do is cancel any products that are the same. So the x plus 2's cancel. What's left is x plus 5 over x minus 5. That is your simplified answer. Now you cannot cancel these x's out. This x is attached to this 5, and this x is attached to this 5, this -5. Okay? So that's your simplified answer. And your restrictions are still x cannot be -2 or 5. Now, even though you cancel these two right here, you still have to name -2 as a restriction. And it even tells you right here. It says the simplified form is x plus 5 over x minus 5 for x cannot be 5 and x cannot be -2. The restriction x is not equal to -2 is not evident from the simplified form, but it is needed to prevent the denominator of the original expression from being 0. So even though you canceled it out, you still need to include -2 as a restriction. Okay? Now, let's look at some more examples. We did these problems before. State the restrictions. X cannot be 0 and y cannot be 0. Because if they were, you'd get a 0 in denominator. Now go ahead and simplify it. How would you simplify this problem?
Take out x squared.
-6 goes into 24 how many times? -4. How about the x's? You've got 3 x's on top and 2 on the bottom.
-4x.
You're gonna cancel two x's and one's gonna be left on top. How about the y's? Over y. Yep, that's your answer. Questions, anyone? B.
That's what you have to factor.
You have to factor this. You cannot cancel these x squareds out. You have to cancel factors. How do you factor the numerator?
X plus 4, x minus 2.
Thank you. That is correct. How about the bottom?
X minus 6, x plus 1.
X minus 2, x minus 3.
Okay, before we cancel, simplify this. Tell me the restrictions. X cannot be what? 2 and 3. Now cancel. And the simplified answer is x plus 4 over x minus 3. So these are the two answers that they want. They want the restrictions, and then they want the simplified form. Next one. Bless you. What could you take out of the numerator? That's a GCF one.
4.
A 4. And what are you left with?
3 minus 1.
Good. How about the bottom? Yep. Now everybody check this out right here. See the 3 minus x and x minus 3?
You can't cancel
What do
them
you
out.
notice about those two?
Can't cancel them out.
You can cancel them out, but are they the same?
No.
What's wrong with them?
It's a negative
This
x.
is a negative x, this is a positive x, this is a positive 3, that's a negative 3.
It's a minus, so you can't flip them.
You can cancel them out, but you've got to insert a negative 1 in place. So, because really, see this 3 minus x? Watch this. Off to the side, I'm going to do this. If you pull out a negative 1, this is going to become negative 3 plus x. Now, these two are the same. Now they're the same. You have negative 3 plus x and x minus 3. Those are the same. So if you cancel them out, you have a negative 1 here. So when both terms are opposite signs, cancel them out, but put a negative somewhere. So what's your final? Oh, we didn't do the restrictions. What's the restrictions on this one? X can't be what? And you could do that, plus or minus 3. So what's your final simplified answer? Negative 4 over x plus 3. Questions, anyone? All right. Who taught you how to multiply fractions? How do you multiply fractions? So for example, anyone know how to do this problem right here? How do you multiply fractions?
Cross multiply.
Okay, 7 goes into 21 how many times? The answer is 1. I didn't mean to make it 1, but
Good
I
work.
just made that up. So guess what you're doing here?
Cross multiply.
You are going to factor the daylights out of this problem. Okay? It's factoring on steroids. Okay, so check it out. How do you factor all of these? You have to know how to factor. So, how do you factor x squared plus x minus 6?
X plus 3, x minus 2.
Now, x minus 5 you can't factor. You know that's the only one that you don't factor. How about x squared minus 25?
X minus 5, x plus 5.
How about the bottom?
X plus 1, x plus 3.
Now, before we start canceling, what are the restrictions? X can't be what, and what?
X can't be
Five.
5,
-1.
-3, -1.
Good. Those are your restrictions. 5, -1, and -3. Now let's cancel. What, you wanna cancel? What?
A negative.
Wait, can you go across?
Yes, how did I show you that one that I did?
You can cancel
You reduce
out.
with
Remember this?
multiplying.
Okay.
We did 7 into 21? Yes, you can, whoops. Sorry guys.
So -5, the -5 is
And the x
-3.
You mean that, x minus 5?
Yeah.
Anything else?
X
Three.
plus-
Yep. What's left?
You gotta FOIL and then over x plus 1.
X minus.
You don't have to FOIL anything, you can just leave it.
Oh, you can just, okay.
Stop it.
So you still want it in factored form?
Yeah.
I want you to leave it like that. Yeah, in factored form. Now, check out the restrictions right now. What is it, -1?
Yeah.
But guess what? It's really those 3. Those are the 3 restrictions. So it's important to state the restrictions before you cancel, right?
Right.
Okay, we're gonna try this one on our own. Let's see how good we are now. I want you to factor it, and then I want you to state the restrictions, and then I want you to simplify it. So,
This is actually easy.
is it?
Yeah.
Good. Ms. Burbeck, did you hear that?
I did.
Until you're gonna plot twist and more things.
I know. It always happens. It's never that easy.
It's the factoring that gets everybody.
It's multiplication, once again, and then if you didn't get that in 3rd grade, that makes this harder, you know?
Might we have each component, remember those?
Okay, can we state the restrictions first?
X plus or minus 4.
X cannot be, this is what you're gonna write. X cannot be negative or you can write plus or minus 4 like that. That's your restrictions. It says, state any restrictions. Okay, next, what cancels?
Can you cancel like
All
the
the
x
fours.
plus 4s? Or do you,
Just
can you just do
one.
one set of them?
You do one for one. You mean, is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the positive
This and this cancel.
It has to be a pair, I think.
four.
A top with a bottom.
Oh, okay.
So what's left is 2, x plus 1. I would write x plus 4 squared.
Oh wait, you wouldn't cancel those because they're both on the bottom.
Yeah, you
Okay.
canceled, these 2 got canceled, and I canceled these 2.
Oh,
Don't cancel them all, only 1 for 1. Now, who taught you how to divide?
Calculator.
Well, we didn't show you those.
Long
Actually, long division.
It's pretty, I think it's important.
Someone
you had
explain
know
to
it by
me
5th grade, like the
how
traditional.
to divide these 2
You
fractions.
multiply by the reciprocal.
Got me.
What does that mean, multiply by the
So-
reciprocal?
so
You guys are
you-
good at saying that.
So you flip
What?
one of the fractions.
Multiply by the
so
reciprocal.
You can't say one of
multiply
them.
by that.
You can't say one of them, you gotta tell me which fractions.
Does it matter?
5
Yeah.
over 3 multiplied by 9 over 25.
Why does it matter?
Oh, see?
Do you flip the second one then?
You always flip. This is the one you flip. You flip this one. Do not flip this one. Flip this one.
I call it your only math swear word I allow you to use.
What?
Flip and multiply. Sounds like a
Yep,
swear
flip
word.
and multiply.
Flip and multiply. That's how you multiply.
So now what do you do? So what's your answer? 3/5.
Bam.
So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna flip and multiply. But before we flip and multiply, I need you to factor. Factor the daylights out of this problem.
Factor flip and multiply.
Factor before you flip.
3x.
Factor.
Factor. Oh wait, I just, why did I just say 20,000?
3F multiples.
It's on recording.
And there's a reason.
Don't talk.
How do you factor x squared plus 3x minus 10?
X plus 5, x minus 2.
I'm not fine.
Oops, I did that.
Is everyone okay with that so far? Can you state the restrictions right now?
X plus or minus 1.
Okay, x cannot be plus or minus 1, right?
So you have to do your restrictions before you flip it.
But watch this. Now we're gonna flip this.
So it's still gonna be the same.
Oh, wait.
Now you're gonna make this a times, right?
No, you wanna see it.
Everybody seeing what I'm doing here? I'm just flipping. I'm flipping this. Now what are my restrictions?
X plus X.
Can I add any more to my restriction list?
Yeah. Negative 5 and 2.
So you can add both sets.
So you have to add that again.
Or you do that
What
every
just
time.
happened?
You do that every time.
Wait, what did you just do?
First I stated the restrictions when it was a division problem.
Right.
So I look at this and it says, I'm gonna do plus, it can't be plus or minus 1.
Right.
Then I flipped it and I said, oh, wait, we can't have negative 5 and 2 also.
Oh,
So I added those on my restriction list.
sure.
Now you get permission to start crossing things out. What are you gonna cross out?
X plus 1.
X plus 1, I heard.
2 minus x, x minus 2.
And then you have to put a negative sign.
Thank you. Cross these out and put a what?
Negative.
Is there anything else you can cancel?
No. Wait, what's in? I don't know what you're saying.
Shemaya, tell them what you just said.
Yeah, once you cancel the 2x minus, no, 2 minus x and x minus 2, you have to put a negative 1 somewhere.
So you can cancel them, but put a negative 1 in its place. And then you have x minus 1, and then these two. That's it. Okay, one more.
And then it's the rest homework
And the rest is homework, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do this example, and you gotta kind of write small, so. So what, see if you remember what I told you to do. What should you first, this is a division one, but what should you first do before you flip?
State your restriction.
First factor. You gotta you do wanna state your restrictions, but you wanna factor it first. So, how do you factor this?
X plus 1, x plus 1.
And how about the bottom one?
X plus 4, x minus 3.
Yeah? And then the top numerator? How about this bottom? What are you gonna take out?
X.
Okay, what are your restrictions?
Negative 4, 3. With the
X cannot be negative 4, it cannot be 3, it cannot be 0, and it cannot be 3. These are your restrictions right now. Now flip. Flip what? Flip this. This is what gets flipped. Oh, my pencil just broke.
Same.
Flip this. So you've got x plus 1.
Yeah.
Okay, what cancels now? Actually, can you add any more restrictions? What are you gonna
Cannot
add?
be plus or minus
X
1.
plus 1.
Plus minus 1.
Lot, plus and minus 1.
Same.
These are your restrictions.
So that's what
Oh, I wrote it twice, no. Why did I write it twice? Oh, yeah, no, only once. Only once, sorry, missed that one. Okay, what cancels? X plus 1, X plus 4, what else?
X minus 3.
That's it. You're left with 2x over,
I just said that too.
this is the simplified answer. And these are your restrictions.
I get this.
So, what did we learn today? We learned how to simplify rational expressions, and we learned how to multiply and divide rational expressions. So guess what the rest is?
Homework.
It's your homework. Brett?
That's one.